What's up guys, welcome back to another video here on Muddy Beards 4x4. Today I'm super pumped to announce that we are starting a new video series here on Muddy Beards 4x4. Welcome to the Chop Shop. So let me explain how this is going to work. We're going to be starting a brand new fresh project, and I want you guys to be involved in the process. So today we're going to be talking about my picks for project vehicles in 3 different categories. That's going to be 4x4s, we're talking daily drivers, and we're talking the weekend warrior type vehicles. And then in the next video, we are going to be picking up our project vehicle, giving it a walk around, talking about what my ideas of what I want to do, and then I want to hear what your ideas of what we want to do with the project car. We're going to be talking about price, aftermarket support, and we're talking about cool factor, right? So it's got to be cool, otherwise you're not going to want to buy it and not going to want to spend your time and work on it. I'm going to try and keep this list in a budget like $5,000 or less, because that's even a big budget for me. This Jeep right here that I built, it's taken me like 10 plus years to get it to this point. I started at the $5,000 price point, and I have built it up from there over the last 10 years. So it has been a very long-term project, and it is still not done. Like, it's never done. And when you're picking project cars, you're gonna have to realize that the project is never done. We also need to talk about your budget. How much money are you willing to spend on this project? So you don't wanna go in, if you got $5 grand to spend, you're not gonna go in hot and get a $5,000 car, because you're not gonna have any money to spend on it. Unless it already runs and drives and does everything you want it to do right out of the box, then you're in good shape. So next is your mechanical ability. Can you work on it yourself? Do you have the tools to work on it? Do you have the ability and the tools, the knowledge to do it? Obviously, project cars you're gonna learn along the way, but don't get into something that's gonna be way over your head that you're not going to be able to do and get frustrated and then just sell it and then not want to work on any cars again. So if you're brand new to this, just start off simple, easy, bolt-on stuff. Know your price range, know your level of skill in what you're doing, and don't get over your head. That's the main thing, is getting over your head. That's how you can actually get a lot of project cars, is people buy stuff, they get over their head, they get frustrated, it doesn't run, that doesn't work right, and they just don't know what to do, and then they end up selling it. And if you know what you're doing, you can get it usually for a little bit cheaper price. Now, first on my off-road list is a Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Xterra. Now, these are pretty cool cars. Even the old ones, you can put bigger tires on them. They got a V6, good power. So if you're into Nissans and into 4x4s, a Nissan Pathfinder and Nissan Xterra are the newer ones. Those are on my list of things that I would enjoy to have. Next up is the Suzuki Samurai. This has to be on everyone's list. Obviously, they are super cool, super small. A guy like me, I'm like 6'1". They're not really that comfortable, to be honest. I've had buddies that had them, and unless you redo the seating situation and the way everything, it feels pretty cramped, especially if you sit another big dude next to you. You're sitting shoulder to shoulder in that death wobble machine, okay? Now, they are fun, and they're cheap. There's lots of parts, aftermarket support for them. So I would encourage you to get a Suzuki Samurai if that's what you are into. We cannot have an off-road list without having flippin' Cherokee on there. They're so cheap. They are 4.0 manual transmission, and they got room for the family in there. And like, did I mention they're super cheap? If you want something super cheap that has all the same stuff as this, Cherokee's gonna be your thing. My number one choice for a 4x4 project car would be Dodge Raider, aka the 3-door or 2-door and a hatch version of the Mitsubishi Montero. I believe it has a 2.6 V6 in it. You can get it in an automatic or a manual transmission. And these things look, in my opinion, they look super cool. I believe it's like 87 to 1990. It was a joint venture between Mitsubishi and Dodge, kind of the same time where like the Eagle Talon and the Mitsubishi, whatever, you know, there's like 3 cars. That's Dodge, Mitsubishi, Eagle. They all look the same, but the Dodge Raider looks, in my opinion, looks super cool. The 2-door Mitsubishi Montero, Dodge Raider, that would be my number one pick for a 4x4 project car. So now we're talking daily drivers. You gotta think about price, reliability, and obviously still aftermarket support. The Honda Civic hits all those requirements. They are not super expensive. Now I'm talking 4th, 5th, and 6th generation Civic. They made them for a very long time, and they are pretty cheap to find. Tons of aftermarket support. So if you're trying to be a hot boy and crack that VTEC, impress your friends and girls, probably a Honda Civic's gonna be for you. And you can practically rebuild this whole car using one of these around $100 mechanic toolkits. You can pretty much touch every nut and bolt on this car and engine and rebuild it with simple basic hand tools like this. That's one thing that's super cool for a beginner. There's also Volkswagen. You got your Golfs. That's my preferred Volkswagen Golf. I like hatchbacks, and you can get them in a turbo diesel for fuel economy, and you can get them with 1.8 turbo, which you can do upgrade stuff to that as well. And they're just cool little cars. And we can't forget BMWs. So 3 Series BMWs are pretty cool. Late 90s, early 2000s. They're cool. They're cheap. You can get them with a manual transmission. They're rear wheel drive, so you can get all drifty with them just right out of the box. You don't have to do anything with them. That's why people use them for drift cars, rally cars, whatever. They're cheap. 5-speed. You can get them with a V8. And the last daily driver for me would be, obviously, my daily driver is a Subaru Forester, a first-gen Subaru Forester, 1998. You can lift it like I did, or you can lower it. They look cool being lowered, slammed to the ground too. They look cool both ways. There's plenty of room for your family and all your junk in the back, which is why I got it. And you can get them in an automatic and a manual transmission. So this is also another good option, or an Impreza. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. So we're talking about the weekend warrior stuff. Project cars inherently are not your daily driver if you can afford it. So these will be stuff that I wouldn't drive on the road every day personally. If you do, that's cool, good on you, but I'm not gonna make my project car a daily driver. So one thing you guys don't know about me, my first project car was a mini truck, an 89 Mazda B2200. So there's a place in my heart for mini trucks. I love mini trucks. I love that truck. That was the first thing I ever built myself that my friends helped me because I didn't know how to weld. It was C-notched, it was on airbags, had GMC Denali wheels on it, and it was super cool for my first thing I ever touched as far as a project, and it really kind of paved the way for everything that I've done up until now. Check this guy out over here. Man, he thinks he's so cool. So I don't care, the mini truck, actually just gonna make that a category because Mazdas, Nissan hardbodies, Toyotas, even S10s, they're not my favorite as far as the mini truck look. Nissan hardbodies are really super cool. Lowriders, the Mazdas are super cool, and the Toyotas are pretty cool as well. Now this is strange for me because I am not a Ford guy at all. I've never owned a Ford. I don't really like Fords all that much, but the Fox Body Mustang, the Fox Body Mustang is pretty sweet, man. If you're a Ford guy, it's got the 5.0 T5 manual transmission. That thing is a sweet little ride, and the prices are at that point where you can still get one at a decent price, but the prices are going up as we speak. And so if you're trying to get into something like that, then I would probably get into it right now because the prices will probably continue to go up. But it's a good motor and transmission package, short little rear-wheel drive car, and to be honest, they do look pretty cool. If you guys want to tinker with your wankle, gonna get yourself an RX-7. These things are pretty cool. They have a rotary engine, which has always intrigued me. I kind of have a basic understanding of how they work, but I just don't really know a whole lot about them. It's got that cool 80s, 90s styling, that sports car styling, which is really cool, kind of like the Porsches and stuff from that era. It is a cool car, but the prices of these are just skyrocketing. All these Japanese sports cars, like the Toyota MR2 is really cool as well, but I looked and they're kind of pricey, more pricey than I expected. So the Toyota MR2 is a mid-engine car, and it's super cool. I really like it a lot. It's a little expensive for this list, but if you can find one for under $5,000 that's in good shape and it's worth working on, then I would get an MR2. Rear-wheel drive, mid-engine, super cool little sports car that I would have a ton of fun ripping around in. And before I end this video, I want you to know that one of the vehicles on this list is the project car that I will be revealing in the next video. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button. Leave me comments down below. Let me know what your first project car is and what your dream project car is. If you want to check me out on social media, I am at MuddyBeards4x4. We got a website, muddybeards4x4.com. We got shirts, stickers, discount codes from our sponsors. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.